Good, you guys? This is Eric with OzoneTCG. Today we're taking a look at Nick's Therion P.U.N.K 40 card list. There's some theory going on that you're supposed to play 60. This is his take on the deck, and the main combo involves a certain Naturia monster and Therion King Regulus, and that is the whole idea for the deck. Shuts down branded. We'll discuss the interaction in just a second. If you guys want to support the channel, please use our TCG affiliate link. We receive support from TCG Player if you guys use that, and it helps of course support the channel. And best of all, you get the best prices via TCG Player. Again, if you're taking a look at any of the Punk cards, any of the Therion cards coming up in Dimension Force releasing this week, please be sure to use the affiliate link. And of course, the link will always be in the description. Let's go ahead and take a look at this list. Of course, we have the Punk side, and then we'll take a look at the Therion side. Punk side is triple Zayamin. We do normal summon this card in this deck because we don't play any of the adventure cards. So this deck is actually relatively inexpensive considering how much more expensive it could be. Zayamin, all the Punks, except for Foxy Tune, are pretty cheap right now, and that's including one of the other monsters. We'll talk about that in a second, though. But Zayamin, you pay 600 life points, add a Punk monster. You can add either Ogre Dance or Foxy Tune or Deer Note, depending on your hand, but it just adds any of your monsters. We play the Yugioh Punk Shirakusai, and this Sky Fusion summons using monsters from your hand or side of the field. It can also quick synchro on your opponent's turn. I don't know why it does that. I know why, it's for the level 11 play, but I don't know why it has that added effect. This card's insane. I think you don't play this deck unless you're playing this and the Fusion Rising Carp. We'll talk about that later too. You'll see that in a couple of the replays we have for you guys. But you pay 600, then Fusion Summon using your hand or field, and the Carp can summon from hand or deck. Just a really, really strong extender, and really good if you play like E-Telly and already have Zayamin in the hand. Normal summon Zayamin, add this, or go E-Telly for this. Or go Zayamin, add Deer Note, and then E-Telly for Shirakusai, or something like that. You guys will see a bunch of replays from here, but it's a very strong one of. You'll need one. You'll need to resolve it once. You'll need to search it once ever. It does grind, it can grind, but that's more so for the Therion side because the Therion cards are better at grinding than the Punk cards themselves. Then of course we have Deer Note. Dueling Book still is the translation as Deer Note. It has been confirmed to be Deer Note here. You can reveal one other Punk monster in your hand, special summon its card, or the revealed monster if you do send the other to the graveyard. So usually you're going to special summon the other monster, but if you do send this card from the field to the graveyard, you can target a Punk monster graveyard except a level 5, so the only level 5 Punk monster currently is Deer Note, of course. Special summon it, and then you cannot special summon Deer Note for the rest of the turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. Basically, as soon as you summon Chaos Ruler with Deer Note and you're level 3, because it'll be a tuner, you'll have a level 3 tuner, you can immediately special summon it back for a level 11 synchro play. Really, really powerful card, but you only need one because you'll need to resolve it once. Double Foxy Tune, you could play this card at 3 if you really wanted to. I think you only need 2, especially because this card has been increasing in price over the past week or so with Therion Theory going on. But you do need to play at least 2 of these cards. Really, really strong because you can special from the deck. But those of you who've been playing over the past couple months, 3 or so months since Pug came out in Grand Creators, you guys will know this from the Adventure deck, Adventure Punk Synchro deck. You play one of these or 2 of these just for the synchro plays because the Punk cards playing the Halki Fibrax. And then the card that really no one has played until now, and it hasn't been good really until now, is Ogre Dance. Because you never used Zayamin's normal summon effect, you always have to special summon Zayamin to add like Foxy Tune. Now Ogre Dance can either add Zayamin or Shirakusai, and then it just goes into all your combos from there. You can also summon itself from the deck using Foxy Tune, or if you mill it off of Chaos Ruler, you can send itself from the field to search one of your Punk monsters. And it is a dark, and Foxy Tune is a light. And then, of course, your other monsters are earth, which does make a difference. The light and dark monsters are good for Chaos Ruler. You guys will see that in a couple of replays, too, where you summon this guy off Chaos Ruler, or you summon it off of Zombie Vampire. You guys will see that shortly. And then we have the Therion's cards. We were considering bumping Lily Borea to 3. I would play, if I were playing this deck, I would find room for the 3rd. This card's busted. This is the best Therion's card, just because it adds consistency to everything. This is what makes the Sun Avalon variant of Therion's like playable and potentially meta relevant. If you guys don't know what the Therion's cards do, you have to read them all. Make sure you do. We're not going to go over really too many of them, kind of just what they do for the deck. Lily Borea is a level 8, which is relevant here because we do play a couple of rank 8s, and the level 8 also plays in with the Punk cards, Foxy Tune and Ogre Dance, namely. You can summon like Ogre Dance again from the deck with Foxy Tune, or add it to the hand with Chaos Ruler, and then you summon your rank 8. So either Dingirsu, Zombie Vampire, or Hope Harbinger. If those guys attack, you can also summon Zeus. Yeah. Really strong card. Lily Borea, like I said, best one because it adds your field spell, and Colosseum, the field spell, basically does everything you want to do. Adds almost infinite grind. These cards are insane. Again, just read them, and you guys will see the replays, kind of how they interact with each other. Reaper Fum, that's the translation for the TCG. It's a bounce. You bounce one of your Therion's cards and you spell at trap zones. You can't bounce the field spell, only your equipped monsters, so you usually like Regulus equipped with Fum. Bounce Fum back to the hand, gives you additional grind. Then you still have a negation. If you know, or so you just send Fum from the hand to the graveyard for Regulus. Yeah, but you'll need one of these. It is a 7, so you can actually go your level 3 plus this guy into Baron to floor, which of course we do play. The card's insane if you can summon it. Regulus, you only need one of these cards in this deck. So again, if you wanted to really play like one Lily Borea, theoretically you could, and then bump up like one of the other Therions, the Reaper, Bull, or Duke. We can talk about some of those budget options in another video, but for now, yeah, you only need one Regulus, because really you're only going to be resolving it once as well. This sets up the lock with Rose Whip. So this is the interaction. Rose Whip, for those of you who don't know, your opponent can only activate one spell or trap card each turn. Regulus, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send a Therion's monster card from your hand or field to the graveyard, negate that effect. So this guy isn't like Great Shogun Shien, doesn't negate activations, or excuse me, Legendary Six Samurai Shien, the Synchro. Great Shogun Shien acts like Interior Rose Whip, where your opponent can only activate one spell or trap. This is different though. This is an actual lock, because if they activate something like, I don't know, Branded Fusion, you negate it with Regulus, they can't activate any more spells or traps this turn because Therion's King Regulus negates the effect and not the activation. So they have activated a card, a spell or trap, and they basically used it. There's nothing else they can do about it. They're locked out of spells and traps for the turn, so you just have to deal with monster negates. And this deck does put out some monster negates too, as well as playing Fairy Tale Snow to book some monsters too. Yeah, really strong card. Or if you have Hope Harbinger, you can save your Regulus for your monster effects, because again, Hope Harbinger is the same thing, it negates the effect. It does not negate the activation. It does make a difference because of the Rose Whip lock. And then we have Bull Ein. It's spelled differently in the TCG unit, is just Bull. This is a level 7 as well. It's good going second too. You don't necessarily need to play this, but if you want to play a more budget option, just playing like one Lily and one King Regulus, you would play like 2 Leaper or 2 Bull, or 2 Jewel instead of the 2 Lily Borea. Again, just good going second, and just a strong card overall. It's a warrior, so if we played some warrior cards, it does play with Dia-Note because Dia-Note is a warrior. That is one of the reasons also to play it. And then Jewel, Duke Jewel, spelled differently in the TCG, of course, is the Psychic. Really good versus the Mirror and versus some Sword Soul variants. So it protects your Therion's cards from being destroyed by Baron to floor. That's really it. But it does play into the Psychic theme because your level 3 monsters are all Psychics. And at worst, we have Interior Rose Whip because it is a plant and Lily Borea is a plant. We basically have types for every single thing. Dingirsu is a machine in case you don't summon Regulus turn 1 for some godforsaken reason. Yeah, this just plays in, they all play into each other with all these types. This is summonable by Fibrex because it is a tuner. If Fibrex goes, this will still be good though, because you can send it with one of the rank 3s we play. We'll talk about that in a second though. And then of course the Fairy Tale Snow, you mill a bunch of cards. You mill 9 cards, 5 off Chaos Ruler, 4 off of Zombie Vampire. You're milling 9 cards your first turn at minimum, generally speaking. You're either going to hit it, or you're going to have like Snow in hand, or in the deck at worst you send off Shooting Riser, but you'll have fuel in the graveyard for it. And then our defensives, we'll talk about the Ash Blossom, Veiler, and Impermanence. Veiler is for Chaos Ruler. You could also play like Ghost Ogre, but that's recently fallen into favor. Theoretically Ghost Reaper, but I don't think the card's worth playing right now. but I think just Ash, Valor, and Impermanence are the best 3 hand traps right now. You could also play DD Crow. We do side DD Crow because it is, again, searchable off of Chaos Ruler. And then E-Tele, because your best 4 starters are, or level 3 punks are all Psychics. E-Tele went to 3 probably because of this deck. So yeah, you just go like E-Tele, Zayamin into Shirakusai, and then go into your fusion from there, special summon your Foxy Tune, excuse me, not Foxy Tune, Dionote, and another level 3 from the deck. And then combo from there, because the Fusion Rising card cannot summon level 8s, unfortunately. It'd be really cool if it could. It'd be a free rank 8, free OTK. But it's still busted, even though it can't summon those. It'd be even more busted. We don't even want to talk about that. And then our gyro system. This is called I think it's Endless Engine, our gyro system, something like that in the TCG. It's a Foolish, specifically for Therions. And then you can either, if it's in the graveyard, once per turn, only once that turn, as an effect, target a Therion's card, not just any monster. Either add that card to the hand or it to the hand, and usually you'll add the other target. So you can mill your Coliseum off of, I don't know, say it's milled off of Chaos Ruler or Zombie Vampire, and then our gyro system, add back Coliseum, and then you have a free field spell. And you didn't use Terraforming, you didn't play Control that way. Yeah, card's kind of crazy. I don't think you necessarily need to play 3. Again, if you wanted to play more Therion monsters and not our gyro system, you could, or wanted to play more punk cards, you could as well. You could cut the our gyro system. It's totally up to you. And then, of course, we have Coliseum. Just read the card. It does everything. It protects your Rose Whip from battle destruction. They're not playing it. Like, there's just nothing they can do against this if it's resolving all its effects. This card's insane for grind. You gotta play 3, you gotta play the Terraforming. We also play Therion Charge in this case. You send in our gyro system or Therion's card from your hand or spell and trap, not from the monster zone, unfortunately, and then draw 2 cards. Can only activate 1 per turn. Really good just to dig into the deck, and that's the idea, is just to draw with this card and then mill with, again, Chaos Ruler and Zombie Vampire. Again, Terraforming, Call by the Grave. This card's ignorant. Play this card until it's banned, which hopefully will be soon. Impermanence we already talked about. And then Therion's Cross. If you have a Therion's monster, while you control this card as well, you can either negate the effect of an opponent's activated monster effect or banish that monster. So it's like the Doom King Ballardroach. It's like a mini version of that, and it's searchable, again, off of Lilyboria. Just an alternative card to search instead of Cross or Coliseum. That's it for the main deck. Let's go to the extra deck now. We have the tech card, Melier of the Trees, 2 level 3 Earths. This is where the punk cards come in play. Zayamin makes this on its own off of E-Tele, so E-Tele into Zayamin, Zayamin search Shirakusai, and then normal summon Shirakusai. You can either normal summon or fusion using Shirakusai's effect to go into Carp. Carp summons Zayamin or Madam Spider if you wanted to play that, or you can combo from there, or you can just go into Melier if you have Rose Whip in the graveyard. Yeah, it's insane. It's because Rose Whip is a level 3. This card either sends a plant, you can once per turn detach material from this card, activate one of the effects, send a plant monster from your deck to your graveyard, target a plant monster in your graveyard, special summon that target, and face up defense for some reason, specials in defense. And Rose Whip has 1700 defense, kind of hard to get over. Definitely not getting over it if you have Snow in the graveyard. Yeah, you gotta play this card. Again, if Fibrax is banned, this is the way to do it. There is a way, it's a convoluted way to summon 2 of these in a turn, because it is not a hard once per turn. It is a 2013 card, so we're starting to phase in those hard once per turn effects. But with this, you can summon 2 in a different variant. Again, if Fibrax gets banned, depending on the list. There's a way to still summon the lock, even without Fibrax. Rose Whip is just crazy. You will probably win games just off of that. And Regulus, because a lot of people don't know about this combo right now. Zombie Vampire, if you guys don't know, this came out in Battle of Chaos. It's one of the secret rares. It has 3 insane effects, but we only care about the milling effect, detach material. Each player sends out 4 cards from their deck to the graveyard. Then if any monsters are sent to either graveyard by its effect, you can special summon one of those monsters. In the mirror, works in the mirror, works in adventure, works in swords, works in everything. Card's insane. I don't know why they printed this card, and for 3k attack, that's completely generic, and it's a dark. Don't know why they printed it. It's good. You definitely need to play this card. Pick it up now if you haven't already. Dingirsu, it's Dingirsu. Just easy removal, easy battle protection, or destruction protection. Hope Harbinger, spell card negate. So versus Branded, Despia, and Rose Whip plus Harbinger, they can't play. Even with Albaz, you use your King Regulus to negate their Albaz. Cool, they lose. This also protects your Rose Whip because its detach effect is the one that changes its target, your opponent's attack target to itself, and then perform damage calculation from there. So again, they're really not going to get over Rose Whip unless you don't have Colosseum, which is unlikely, or Harbinger, more likely, but still relatively unlikely because your cards just all play into each other. Then, of course, Zeus. If you play Exceed monsters, you play this. That's all. Barricade Board Blocker. It can add your Colosseum back from the graveyard. Or if you play a continuous spell, you can also do that too. But really, it's just for the discard effect. If you feel like Snow or Rose Whip to discard, and you can go into melee. Then you go from there. It's also just a generic anyway, so just a good card to have. Fibrax, card's busted. I don't need to explain this card any further. And then Formula Synchron, we actually leave Fibrax on the field if you end on Rose Whip, and you can quick synchro into Baron to Floor because you will use Regulus's effect. And then Resolution, you will activate Fibrax to summon Formula Synchron, draw one, and then immediately afterwards use Formula Synchron to synchro into Baron to Floor using your Regulus because it's level 8, or Lily Borea, depending on which one you have. Some game states or boards you will have Lily instead of Regulus on the field. They'll be equipped to each other, or you'll have like Regulus equipped with Thumb, or Jewel, or Bolt. Yeah, all your cards do basically the same thing with each other. And then Shooting Riser, this is for Snow. That's basically it. You don't really use the mill effect to send one of your punks, but it can happen, or like Rose Whip, you can do that. It's not as efficient for a combo. It's a little bit messy, but it is possible, and it's some nice utility there. But basically, just send it for Snow, and then summon. Say if you send Snow, it becomes level 3, and then you summon Baron using itself, and then one of your level 7s. Bunch of utility options there. Really nice that you have a bunch of odd number of levels to play into your 11s and level 10 synchros. Chaos Ruler, this card's just insane. It's absolutely busting this deck. This was one of the best reasons to play this deck is for Chaos Ruler. If this card were to go, it would be really hard to play this deck because you just need to mill cards. Because it can add your Foxy Tune, can add your Ogre Dance, can add Snow if you really wanted to, can add Veiler, can add Duke as well, because Duke Jewel is a light. And it's a level 8, so if you mill a Therion plus Duke, add Duke to the hand, Special Summon Duke, you got a rank 8 right there. And then Special Summon Chaos Ruler from the graveyard each turn. I don't know why they printed this card for this deck. Who knows? Chunging, we do play one of these. This is your alternate level 10 because you can trigger it with Snow. Really one of the really cool options to play there. I absolutely love playing this card. Again, it's a generic level 10, protects itself from destruction, and then banishes, immediately triggers its own effect. If it's protecting itself from card effect destruction, gains attack based on banished cards. It's a really strong card to play. Baron to Floor, it's a negate. It's insane. You just play this if you play a synchro deck. You play level 8s and level 2s, or a way to get to level 10. You play those. Psychic and Punisher. This card is insane as well for going second. Really good at breaking boards. Sometimes you'll just want to sit on it. And then remove your opponent's life's resources, and then if your life points are lower, it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So at 3,500 attack, it's really hard to get over in some decks. Again, like Branded cannot get over this if you have like Regulus plus Rose Whip plus this plus Harbinger. Not a lot of decks can do that anyway, but this also just does not lose to something like, I don't know, like Droplet, because it's an activated effect. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, target a monster you control, and your card your opponent controls, banish them, just for free. And then start a battle phase, gains attack even more. OTK potential. This card was made for punks. It is a psychic, it is a level 11 synchro, and it is a light for Chaos Ruler as well, because we play very few light monsters in the deck, in the main deck at least, that we want to banish. This is one of them in case you need to synchro off, link off with this. Yeah, and then Dragon, Amazing Dragon. You don't need to play this, I don't think, but if you have it, I think it's good because it just summons a punk monster for free. So either Zayamin or Shirakasai or one of your level 8s. Again, not necessarily, but it is good removal. So, and then of course the Rising Carp takes any 2 punk monsters, so including Amazing Dragon. You contribute this fusion summon monster, so can't use this effect if you summon it off of Amazing Dragon. Special summon up to 2 punk monsters with different names from your each other from your hand or deck. Except level 8 monsters in defense position. The attacking twice doesn't come up too often, but it is there. Level 8 monster restriction, again, doesn't even matter, because you're going to summon like Xamon and Deonote for free, because Xamon on its own, or it's going to be E-Telly into Xamon is the combo. Yeah, and then it just summons either Chaos Ruler or Fibrox from there, and Chain Blocks Fibrox from Ash. The card's busted. Let's go and take a look at some replays, and then, yeah, we'll show off the really strong combos this deck has. I'm really excited to play this deck in person. Let's go and take a look at them. Alrighty, so replay number 1 is with Nick. He was playing this just to test it out versus his opponent playing Marincess with the new cards. This is an example of kind of a weaker hand, but this game 1 is going to be really insane. So Marincess opened up incredibly strong with Impermanence, Droll, and Ash Blossom. Again, Nick did not here. We just have Duke, which is not the strongest monster to draw. But Valor being a tuner here, a level 1 tuner specifically to get to Chaos Ruler does matter. And this Duke now inherits the effect of Lilyboria. In here you would have to either Ash or Impermanence, or Resolution, go Droll and Lockbird. It still rips one for basically nothing. I'm just going to see what they do here. Just going to go ahead and get the search. He's going to Droll afterwards, so he's going to not activate that. Okay. Okay, then he's just going to normal summon this because you can quick synchro with this card, and then that actually triggers Amazing Dragon. We may see that. He drew Growth Spell, and then this is just like an FTK hand, so you can just go like Impermanence on Shirakasai, and then they can't quick synchro. Exactly what he does there. Let's go ahead and see. So he quick synchros into probably Psychic and Punisher. Okay, I would have done Psychic and Punisher because you do pay life points, and that immediately puts you lower, so then it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So from here, yep, I don't know if he lets this through. So this card's insane. Sea Angel just adds any Marincess spell. It wasn't good before, but now it is just busted with the new support. Marincess is definitely on my radar. I definitely think it is at least a regional deck that you can play and do very well or win a regional with. I'm not sure about higher level events like YCSs or the NAWCQ. It will be legal for that event though, not for YCS Hartford though. But this deck is definitely on my radar. I am very curious to see how players innovate this. Okay, we get Marincess Spring Girl. Okay, yep. Splash Mage, cards insane for Cyber stacks, and of course the Marincess cards are all Cybers. You get this, target a water monster, and then it special summons you level, or when you're a level, usually they're going to level 4 or lower. So in this case, Spring Girl, and then this gets into your level, or excuse me, Link 3. You discard a card, you can add the Marincess Trap, or you go directly into Link 4. And then it is, let's see, equips. I don't know what all these do, but these cards are really, really good. Like that. Start. Okay, so he doesn't go there. 30. Okay, because it gains. I think it gains half the attack or something. Let's see. 15. Yeah, so it gains half the attack of the monsters it's equipped to. So 3,000. So 1,000 plus 2,000, 3,000 divided by 2 is 15. 23 plus 15 is 37. There we go. And then there's some lag here. Alrighty. Not bad. A lot of lag on Dueling Book right now. If you guys have played on there recently, servers are kind of sus right now. I don't know what's been going on Dueling Book, but yeah. So our gyro system is going to target Lily, and then Lily can get Duke Jewel, and then I feel like you would Ash this here. You really can't do a whole lot though, because you know now you have Lilyboria, and you get your monster. Negate that activated effect. Okay. I'm just gonna go Lily. Do Jewel, and then for some reason the Therions also gain attack, so they gain 700 attack when equipped. And one of the new ones in Power of the Elements equips 3 from the graveyard. That card's insane. It's a dark level 10 machine. Play that in Earth Machine Good Stuff. That deck becomes way better. Post Power of the Elements, we'll talk about that in another video though. There's a lot in Power of the Elements. That's going to be insane. Almost as insane as Rise of the Duelists, but pretty close, I would say. It's like probably top 5 sets of all time. That you guys will see very, very soon. Those support cards in there, and the Sprite and tier elements in that set are insane. So Nick here is just crazy right now. Both effects, yeah. So you can use both effects right now. If you have valid targets in the graveyard, you can use both the effects of Therion Ring, the Colosseum to protect your monster, and then add from the graveyard to the hand. Okay, 31 dies, protects, and then Thumb. Yep, adds itself back, and then Lilybori can send itself, which will probably be ashed. Okay, he's not going to use Ash for some reason. Okay, Therion charge. This is going to be Ash, though. 100%. Yep. And then Thumb. You're just going to start bouncing stuff. Because it does that. It's... this card's so annoying. I could see this in a more pure Therion version. Again, a budget version. You do need to play at least one Lilybori and one Regulus. But if they start going down in price, you know, if they're like between 25 and 40 right now, you can just play one copy of each of those and play like more copies of this. Or again, Jewel or Bull, because those are commons. They're going to be like 5 to 10 cents. Play more of these. This card is disgusting. I hate playing against this card. It just creates so many awkward game states and interactions. Okay, we're going to go here. Summon. Yep, Ash. Bounce that. Go into that. Special. Summon. Okay. Immediately add to your hands, person. And then I think... Oh no, he didn't mill anything else. Okay. Still has plays though, because this deck just has a bunch of Crime now. Being able to search any spell is kind of crazy. And then of course Splash Mage. This card is really good. Send a card and add Renaissance Wave, because that's a fake impermanence that you can activate from your hand. So really nice, just doesn't negate cards in the same column for the rest of the turn. Insane top deck. I think this is not the one that you can negate spells and trap, or negate, yeah, spells and trap effects. Yeah, it's a Regulus. Yep. Get Lilyboria. I swear these Therion cards just do so much. You can just do whatever you want with them. This card negates effects. You can search now. But they just do too much. And then you get Jewel. Here, yeah, I would have just let it go, because at this point you can make like a rank 8. If you really wanted to. Zombie Vampire. Okay, perfect. Really good. And then this is where Ogre Dance actually comes up. You can special summon one of those. Doesn't matter the attribute here, but in this case, he's going to add, and he is not normal summoned yet. So he's going to add Zayamin, and then just combo off from there. I mean, you can build a huge board just off of these cards. We'll see in just a second. Yeah, Zayamin. This card's absolutely insane. Again, if you don't have your Punk cards, you need to pick them up right now. They're getting bought out as I speak. Make sure you get them. Summon Deer Note, Chaos Ruler. There's all the mills. Summon your level 11s. You can also go into Chaos Ruler, Mill, Rose Whip. You have a line to get into Melee if you really wanted to, or just continue comboing from there. Psychic and Punisher. Now he could have Psychic and Punisher here, banishing something like Colosseum or Zeus, but he didn't need to. This can still go into Formula Synchron. So you can go either into a 9 if you really wanted to, or into something like Shooting Riser, reduce a level, and then Shooting Riser, like send Snow, and then go into Baron from here. This deck just does too much. It's so good. Does lose, unfortunately, to something like Dimension Shifter, but only one deck is playing that right now in the meta, and that's, of course, Full Underease. And then Psychic and Punisher's unaffected by all the activated effects, because Nick's life points are lower. So he actually won that somehow. Just being able to summon a bunch of monsters from the extra deck, just let him win. The Therion cards grinding, Colosseum just being Colosseum. yeah, nothing you can really do there. That's how it is. I mean, and then game 2, of course, we'll see right now. We'll see how Nick fares. He just has the impermanence. Okay, search wave. So he has double wave. I think wave is once per turn activation. Nope, just kidding. That card's insane too. Especially because you can activate from the hand for free if you control a Link 3 or higher or Incest monster. Okay, Bahamut. Yep, he's going to negate that. So Nick quickly scoops because he didn't draw any punks. But Nick is now going to go first, and we will see. So Droplet, that's fine. But that actually is not like game versus this deck. So unfortunately, he doesn't draw any of the other punks again, and can't mill any of his monsters. But he does have the double DD Crow and Valor, and that probably is going to be enough, honestly. These cards just do so much on their own. As soon as he draws a punk card, it's over. Even if it somehow gets negated, Droplet, negates its effects, then he just attacks into whatever monster. Top deck Ogre Dance is just insane. So this is gonna be another Droplet for sure. Yep, there it is. Attack, protect, and then immediately mill Leaper. Really being insane. These cards are so good. I swear, like, I don't know why they allow these cards. He gets another Coliseum if he really wanted to. This is where Rising card comes in. This is where he summons Chaos Ruler and then gets another level 3, goes into Fibrax if he wanted to, or go into another level 11 Synchro. Yep. So mill this, and then our Gyro System doesn't even matter here. I think he used our Gyro System, but he milled Snow, and that is also just insane. Let's see. Dark on the... Oh, excuse me, DD Crow is the dark. He can get to another light in the extra deck. Yep. Snow. Going to Shooting Riser. Shooting Riser, yep. Send the other light, and that is for Chaos Ruler. So he is level 3 right now, because 7 minus 4 is 3. And then Chaos Ruler can summon itself by banishing Valor, and DD Crow, that is why he sent Valor. You can also go into Zombie Vampire. Summon Rose Whip, there you go. Really hard to play through this. Quick Synchro here. I just don't know what you do versus this. Let's see. Let's see. Is that level... Oh, it's level 6. Because he sent Valor. Aha. So it's level 6 plus level 4, Baron. That is probably going to be game. I mean, yeah, Lieber. So Lieber could have gone in attack. It just doesn't even matter from here. Again, the Therion's cards plus Rose Whip, it just does too much. We're going to go ahead and end the replay here. We have more for you guys. We want to make a dedicated video for that. I just want to show off exactly how this plays. But we'll definitely show off this version of the deck. Some versions don't play Rose Whip, but I think Rose Whip is probably the best way, and it minimizes on playing those bricks. Let me know what you think about this deck. I am really excited to play this deck. I will probably play this for a larger event, even like a regional or above at some point. Even though I want to play Branded or Sword Soul, I do want to play this at least once just to see how it feels. And it's really, really cheap otherwise, especially if you want to play the Adventure Engine, you can, but you don't need to, and that's the best part. Again, make sure you pick up your punks now. Those cards are insane. They are only going to be more insane just throughout the format, even if Fibrax gets banned because of their utility. Let me know what you guys think about this deck. Again, excited to play it. Use the affiliate code, and this is Eric with OzoneTCG. See you guys in the next one.